I think it's dumb. I don't know why they're doing this whole fractional shares thing.
There are a couple trading platforms that are now selling you shares of stocks. So for example, with Bitcoin, I can buy 1/10 of a Bitcoin, or I can, in theory, buy $100 worth of Tesla rather than buying one share of Tesla. Do you think that that'll have a positive outcome on the algorithms you create because that gives you so much more control of the amount of risk you have? Or is that just something that probably overcomplicates the process because these companies that are selling shares of shares have to be taking a cut somewhere?
I think it's dumb. I don't know why they're doing this whole fractional shares thing. Off the bat, a lot of companies will do what's called a stock split, where they'll just issue more stock so the price of that goes down. But the reason why these brokers are doing these fractional shares is they want more commissions, right? Every time you place a trade, right, usually you have to pay some type of commission. Now, there's stuff like Robinhood and Webull that have no commission. And instead, they're selling your buy data, your data when you make a transaction to hedge funds so they can trade against you or use that to influence their trades. It's great for the brokerages because they're getting more transactions in. In terms of my trading systems, overall, I think it won't affect the economy too much or the markets too much or the algorithms too much because people that are using those fractional shares are generally don't have a lot of capital. And thus, if you're only trading with, $2,000 or $1,000, your trades aren't really going to affect the market. You're going to be putting in millions or billions into a trade to really affect the price. So I think those fractional shares won't really affect the market too much. It can complicate the process. And I've been asked to build some trading systems for fractional shares. And I just say no, because I don't want to deal with extended scope or I just think there's going to be more problems with it from a technical perspective. And just something I don't want to get into. So myself, obviously, I'm trading generally per trade, $5,000 to $10,000. So I don't really see value in this for me personally. But I guess if you have a low amount of capital, it can help that. And with cryptocurrencies too, right? How much is one Bitcoin right now? Like 13K. Like obviously that makes sense to buy portions of that. And there's a lot of rules with crypto. I've used the Binance API. I do have a crypto bot and I built some systems for other people, but they have a lot of rules when it comes to how small, like the minimum size of the quantity. And it's actually really frustrating building systems for cryptocurrencies because there's so many rules. Like, Bitcoin has different rules from Litecoin and that sort of thing. But I always found that interesting on how that worked. I code most of my systems in Python, although I am switching over to Node.js. We're starting to transition our bots onto the web for our clients and customers where they can just log into a website. But yes, Python, a lot of the libraries that you're going to use is probably the most popular one is with the brokerages. So if you want to say you have a brokerage with the biggest one in the West right now is TD Ameritrade. You want to use, they have their own API. So TDA-API, I believe it's called. You use a lot of technical analysis. So like indicators and stuff like that. So I use TA, package technical analysis, which has a lot of built-in functions to calculate like, RSI, moving average, all that sort of stuff. It's really helpful instead of, coding that for yourself. And then I use obviously pandas, which is what the most popular package in Python. For a lot of the technical analysis requires a panda series. So you kind of you're forced to use that with the other packages. I'm not too well versed in like using Python applications on the web. So what I'll do is I'll use the PyInstaller package to export my code to an executable that can run on Windows, or you can do Mac as well. And then I'll usually run that on an AWS cloud server for my clients. So they don't have to, running on your local computer or desktop. If your power goes out, internet goes out, your bot's toast. So you got to have it on a cloud computer. But like I said, I am transitioning a lot of my systems to Node.js because we're releasing a web dashboard where people can log in and run a bot, and I'll have to set up AWS or a cloud computer, just runs all on our web platform. And a lot of that is just, HTTP requests to brokers APIs. And there's a couple Node.js packages for technical analysis and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do.